first met Tim when I was playing guitar in church with Tim's dad. And then a few years later, I run across him again. We were working on a truck of mine, and a good friend of Tim and I's, Lee Barnes, is no longer with us. But we were working on my truck at Lee's bump shop, and this green colored car pulled in. You know, when Japanese first brought their cars over here, some of the yucky colors they had. And I looked, and Lee, you got company. Oh, he said, that's just Tim Rowley. He said, I told him he was going to be up here today. And he's coming up, and I'm going to show him a few chords. And he wanted to know how you do that plunkety-plunk Johnny Cash stuff. And Lee says, forget it. He said, that's over my head, ask Jerry. Then a few years, and the funny part of it is when Tim pulled in there, he pulls this old beat-up guitar out of the back seat. It was the same color as his car was. Remember that old guitar? But anyway, a few years later, Tim and Lee and several other people, we had a gospel group. And I met my wife on Valentine's Day. We'd had a blizzard. And she ran in a ditch, and I pulled her out, and little did I know we were going to get married 10 months later. But we had a gospel group, and my wife brought Diane up and introduced her to Tim. Well, Joanne and I were married in December of '81, and I believe it was July of '82. And after that, every time we'd run across each other, Diane would always go, and Joanne, you're responsible for those 3 little rugrats. And Joanne would always say, now wait a minute, I didn't have anything to do with what happened after I introduced you two. But anyway, Tim and I have been friends just for years and years. And I'd like to present Tim with this award right now. We're going to get him to do a few songs here, if you don't mind. Tim?